Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. So this was in the news. A Republican state senator in Georgia by the name of Colton Moore wrote a letter to Brian Kemp, which he called for an emergency review of Fani Willis's actions of indicting Donald Trump. We, the undersigned, hereby certify to you that, in our opinion, an emergency exists in the affairs of the state requiring a special session to be convened for all purposes to include, without limitation, the review and response to the actions of Fani Willis. America's under attack, and I'm not going to sit back and watch as radical left prosecutors politically target political opponents, he added. He's calling for the emergency session to review the actions of Fani Willis. We must strip all her funding, and if needed, impeach her. So he sent that to Governor Kemp. Now that's alarming, and I had to read on this guy, but this guy is the stuff on the bottom of your shoe that you don't even want to bother scraping off. You'd rather just throw away the shoe and get a new shoe. Okay? That's where this guy is. So that's why I'm not going to read on him. And I know that some of you are going to be like, oh my God, is Brian Kemp going to actually impeach her? Intellectually, no. Why do I say that? Because Brian Kemp's already on record saying after Fani Willis did the indictment and Trump was screaming, he took that opportunity to say that Georgia's elections were free and fair and there was no widespread fraud. And he basically pushed back on all the conspiracy theories about the election being stolen. So what that's saying is that he is distancing himself from Trump. He's not going to then impeach Fani Willis because he would only do that if he was trying to ingratiate himself to the MAGA base and to Donald Trump. And by saying that the elections were free and fair, he is distancing himself from MAGA. He is distancing himself from Donald Trump. Bo, the fifth column, has done a couple of readings, some reports on Brian Kemp. And he actually feels that he would be a powerful force to bring the Republicans back to a normal conservative agenda, and actually would be a very electable president should he ever represent the Republicans in a presidential run. So I doubt he's going to tie himself to the millstone that is Donald Trump and then cast himself into the deepest end of the lake to see if he sinks or not. He's going to separate himself from that. But let's ask, what's Brian Kemp thinking about this thing for Fani Willis? Is he going to act on it? What's he going to do on it? Entertainment purposes only. I think Brian Kemp, whatever his personal opinions of Fani Willis is, I think he feels that she's doing a great job with this. But not only do I think this represents Fani Willis, I think this is him evaluating his political future from where he sits. He is pregnant with the possibilities of what can happen if he lets this woman prosecute Donald Trump and bring him and the MAGA factions down, because it elevates him as well. Crossed with the Queen of Swords. This is going to be something that's very pragmatic. He's going to let her do her job, and she's going to do her job very effectively. She's going to take the lamb to slaughter, and she's going to slaughter it, and he's going to be the one that gets the meat. She's going to do all the dirty work, and he's going to get a lot of the benefits for it. He'll take some short-term hits from the MAGA folks on that one, but he's not worried because I guess there's not enough MAGA, or there's not enough of that going on that he's worried about his position. He's comfortable in his position that he can take the position with the Queen of Swords and go after Trump and go after justice. What's underneath this? The Tower. Yeah, because he knows that this is going to bring Trump down. He knows that this brings Trump and MAGA down. Therefore, there's little downside to taking this position. So that's why he's not going to stop her. That's why he's not going to relieve her of her duties. In the past, the Ten of Wands, he's been sitting in a position a position that's very difficult, because on the one hand, he's trying to demonstrate to folks in Georgia that the elections are are secure. And there's a reason why Georgia lost their Senate seats, and it's because Trump kept saying that the elections are rigged and it didn't matter how Georgians voted, it was going to get stolen anyways, and that depressed the votes in 2020 for the special election for the two senatorial seats, the runoffs they had there, which both the Democrats ended up winning, giving them control of the Senate. Trump did that. And in 2022, when Reverend Warnock ran against Herschel Walker, again, there were threats that from Trump that the elections were stolen and stuff like that. So it's been hard for Kemp trying to stay in that middle, saying the elections are fine, but then watching the elections turn blue. Now, mind you, Kemp's no angel himself. He's been putting into effect voter suppression bills to try and keep the Republicans in power. So he's been busy himself subverting democracy. He just does it in a more dirty trickster fashion as opposed to overt insurrection. Current situation, Ace of Cups. Strong emotions. Right now, everybody's emotions are really strong and they're raw with this one. The Democrats and people who, I don't know, who like the United States as a democracy are celebrating Fani Willis and celebrating these charges, whereas the MAGA folks are crying and, the Democrats are drinking their tears in their coffee cups, high emotions right now. And obviously, Fani Willis is getting called all sorts of names that begin with the N and end with Iggers and stuff like that. I guess Trump apparently, and the reason why I bring that up, Trump apparently on Truth Social, is on the bottom of this article, following Willis's delivery of the 41-count indictment, the Fulton County District Attorney has faced a wave of racist abuse online, including from Trump himself, who, using a thinly veiled play on the N-word, wrote on Truth Social, "They never went after those that rigged the election. They only went after those who fought to find the, all caps, R riggers." Isn't Trump so clever? He didn't use the N-word. He used the R word. Why did I volunteer to come down at this time? Why? I could be up in heaven, doing whatever one does in heaven and not living through this freaking ordeal. Do y'all wonder that? Do y'all wake up in the morning just wondering why the heck you volunteered for this? What were we thinking? I think we were insane. I suppose there's some good reason for this. Much like getting your proctological exam is a good thing, I suppose. Okay, let's keep it on task here, David. You've gone a little bit off to the side there. Overarching energy. Only I can take a reading on Brian Kemp and turn it into a proctological exam. The spiritual meaning of proctological exams. Okay, so back on topic again. Five of Pentacles. So Kemp's looking at this. Is he going to take Fani Willis out? No. He didn't realize his emotions are strong to do that. But, impeaching her and removing her from office isn't serving anybody. It's going to kill his political career. And there'll be backlash for removing her. And he wants Trump gone. He wants Trump out of here because Trump and the MAGA base are what's preventing him from advancing his political career. Again, I'd love to say that he's doing it for love of country and doing the right thing. But since he passes voter suppression laws and stuff like that, that's who this guy is. He's opportunistic. He's just opportunistic in a slightly nicer looking, much better behaved package. Okay. But yeah, he doesn't want to get rid of her or throw her out in the cold. It's not going to benefit the state. It's not going to benefit the case. It's not going to benefit anybody but Donald Trump. And he doesn't owe Donald Trump anything. The lesson to be learned is the magician. He's really good at positioning himself to look like the good guy and not put himself in a position where he's got lousy choices to happen. So he will walk the line. He's learned how to thread the needle, how to walk the razor's edge, and not totally alienate the MAGA crowd without, I don't know, having free and fair elections that don't have voter suppression in them. He'll be a force in the Republican Party coming forward. I think Bo's right with that. Outcome, Seven of Cups, illusion, delusion. But this is also, he has the ability to remove her. But he understands that this call to remove her is just purely emotionally driven. It's not a practical solution. And he ultimately holds the keys whether or not he calls a special session of that Congress in. He's not going to call a special session of Congress in. Maybe he'll say it's too expensive, whatever. But long and short of it, he has a really good understanding of the big picture. He's not going to fall for the strong emotions here. He's not going to fall for the honeyed words of Donald Trump or anything along those lines. He's going to ignore that and make his own path. Forgot to look at the shadow card. Is the tower? Oh, I know I did. I look at the shadow card. It was the tower. Yeah, this is the taking down of Donald Trump and the MAGA crowd. So he sees where MAGA is going, and he's going to go the opposite direction and set himself up as more of a hero than a zero. Okay, so I don't think I really need to say anything else on that one. No, he's not going to impeach or remove Fani Willis. That's kind of political suicide, and he's not really into political suicide at this point. He's got a career ahead of him. I'd throw on that one, but that looks like something I would do for a different reading, not this one. So that's my opinion on it. I think Fani Willis is fine. The Republicans are going to scream and yell and posture, but it's all screaming, yelling, posture, and there's really nothing to it. So thank you for watching this video and supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all the likes and the shares and the subscribes that you do and the comments that you leave. It all helps feed the algorithm that keeps my channel popping up so that other people can see it, and maybe it resonates with them and helps them through their day. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.